Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Shojo's Bizarre Adventure. It is I, your host, Stella Luna.
And Laura and Yusuf. Hello, everyone.
We are on episode 11! Woo!
I know!
Yeah, episode 11. You know, we've done 11 episodes, and every episode now it's getting harder and harder to come up with topics, to talk about. But thankfully, we have TikTok.
Yes, actually, TikTok has been pretty helpful.
Yeah, because every time I see something, I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that. Which, leads us to today's episode is that, so I saw this TikTok as I was, I was just like laying in bed. I have COVID, by the way, so I'm just getting over it. So if I start coughing or I take a second to respond, that's why. But anyways, I was just scrolling through TikTok and I came across this video. And it's these guys from a podcast. I don't remember the podcast name. I'll put it right here. Right here. It'll be on the screen. Or maybe I'll post edit it. I'll just be like, it was this podcast. But anyways, so this podcast, this guy was talking about trying to get his girlfriend into anime. And, we all want people to be into the things that we like. We want, like, especially our significant others, we want, like, to share something. You want to show something to your significant other and you bond over it, right? So that's pretty natural. But then he started listing off animes that he was like, my girlfriend didn't like that. She didn't like Naruto. She didn't like... We tried to race, We tried to race since she didn't give in to Naruto. But then I had an idea. And he talks about how his girlfriend loves cooking, right? And it's so funny because I sat there and I was like, oh no. I instantly was like, once he mentioned cooking, I was like, oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, it was the one that you're thinking, that's the option that he went with.
Yes. He showed his girlfriend who doesn't watch anime Food Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Food Wars. That cooking anime that includes a lot of people getting naked because they're having a foodgasm? That anime?
That one,
yes. And I wanted to talk about this because this is something that really bothers me because I was looking at the comments too, right? Some of y'all need to understand your partners better. How do you guys have girlfriends? I don't say this to be rude, but I am legitimately dumbfounded by this. How do you guys have girlfriends, right? Because Are you guys thinking about her? Like, are you thinking about what she would like? Right?
Like, what I'm thinking is, like, have you ever paid attention to what she likes?
Yes!
Because it sounds like they've never paid attention to what their partner likes. It's not like, oh, she's cooking because she likes it. She might just be cooking because you guys both need to eat.
Maybe she does really like cooking. But okay, here's the thing. We all know when you are showing someone anime, you don't just start them out with the crazy stuff. Like, you don't start them out with, like, high fan service or whatever, because people have there's a stigma against anime for it being basically just hentai. Like, that's all it is, right? Like, it's just shmentai, it's just prawn, that's all it is, right? I remember being in high school, and I'd bring manga to school with me, and I'd have people being like, are you reading prawn? And I'm like, no. Yeah. Are you reading shmentai? They still
have it today.
Yeah.
They still have it today. Like, a lot of my, like, old, like, blogger friends that don't understand the new content that I'm doing now, they're like, wait, is it all, like, prawn, like R18? I'm like, no.
No. Like, what?
Absolutely not. Like, I think well over 90% of my collection is, like, suitable for teens. Like, it's the fluffy stuff.
I know. I think I only own one. Okay. I own one series that is R18, and we've already talked about that series. Includes a nice fireman. And then I have 2 R18 Ultimate games. That's it, right? But the anime that I enjoy and that I watch and I like, all of it is appropriate for most ages for the most part.
Mhm.
And that you don't just show someone because like it just like bothers me because I saw so many comments being like, oh, I tried to get my girlfriend into this and she didn't like it, and she got into Naruto and Bleach and this and that, and I'm like, okay, when you are showing someone anime, right, you need to start them off with something you think they would like, because what it sounds like to me is that you guys want to show your girlfriends, you don't want to show them anime, you don't want to get them into anime, you want to get them into specifically the shows you like.
Yep, that's exactly what it sounds like.
And because here's the thing, I've seen guys be like, why can't I find a girl who's into anime? And then a girl's like, I'm into anime. It's like, but it's shoujo. It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
That's I remember that whole argument last year on TikTok. It's like, oh, well, I want a girl who watches anime, but not that anime, like
yeah, but
real anime.
Real anime. And it's like, what do you mean real anime? It is real anime.
Exactly.
Like it's so real. Because okay, here's some tips, okay, for getting girls or even just anyone into anime. Figure out the shows they like, just specifically, right? You want to figure out what shows they like. Are they into like drama, right? If they're into drama, maybe get them into something like Nana or Fruits Basket, or you know, it's interesting because to bring up Fruits Basket. So my sister, who does not watch anime whatsoever, one day she came to me and she was like, hey, Stella, have you ever seen Fruits Basket? And I went, yeah. Why? Like, why? Why are you asking me? And she was like, oh, I just binged it all on Netflix. It was really good. I actually really liked it. And I was like,
Fruits Basket seems to be like the gateway anime for a lot of people. Like I had some of my, and I hate the term normie, but I mean, for the sake of this, maybe like just non-anime fans.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends was like, wait, I saw this show, Fruits Basket, and I really enjoyed it. I'm like, because she asked me the same things, like, oh, have you seen it? I'm like, yeah, it's one of my favorite series.
Yeah.
But,
well, because Fruits Basket is like a very, I don't want to say it's like normal, like, but it's very like, it's very digestible for someone who is not into anime.
And I feel like the topics are just very universal. I mean, everybody grieves over, you know, someone's passing and deals with like family drama, and like all the topics within the series are very just relatable for any age. I mean, from teens to adults.
Yes. Yes. And like a series I would like, okay, just because it's shoujo though does not mean that every woman out there is going to like it, or that every person is going to like it, right? Because like one of the things I was thinking about, I was like, I saw some people comment this series as well as shoujo, and I was like, no, I would actually not suggest that to someone. And that one's actually Ouran High School Host Club is one I would not suggest to a newcomer to anime, because it has a lot of themes in it that will, first of all, just go over their head, because it's satire, right? It's a which we will have an episode about that eventually. But the show is satire. It's based on 2000s shoujo and BL tropes of that time, right? So there's things in it that are going to go over someone's head. I really think that the twincest that happens, even though it's a joke, it's not real, would really make someone uncomfortable and really turn it off. Like they would turn them off from the series and anime in general, right? Because there's a lot there's a lot of things that happen in it that is like, yes, if you are a seasoned anime fan, you would get it. But if you're new to anime, it's gonna go over your head and you're just gonna think it's really weird, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Because like I just saw a lot of people suggesting that one. Another anime I think I would suggest to somebody would be Full Metal Alchemist, right? I think that's a good starter one. Personally, I didn't finish it because I didn't really like it. Don't come for me in my grave.
I've never watched it.
I might give the original, but I'm gonna say that Brotherhood, like everyone's like, watch Brotherhood, watch Brotherhood. It's so much better. I watched like the first 8 episodes and I felt like I broke my neck watching it. It was just like we were jumping from thing to thing because it expected you to have seen the original series.
Oh, I see.
And so they skipped through like a ton of stuff. It'd be like if in Fruits Basket they like put like the whole first season like being only a few episodes, like the first like 3 or 4 episodes. Like that would give you a whiplash, right?
Yeah.
And so, but you know what? Like I know for a like newcomer, it would probably be okay. Like it would be fine because like, you know, they're not as a well-seasoned anime fan such as myself. But like Full Metal Alchemist is a good one because I feel like a lot of people really like it, and just because I don't like it or that I didn't vibe with it doesn't mean that like other people can't. Do you have any suggestions for anime to start on people on?
I'm looking around at my manga. Not My Dress Up Darling. That would be a no pile.
It would be a no.
Kimi ni Toloke probably would be a good one, although it's kind of a slow one. The themes are pretty universal as well.
I do like Kimi ni Todoroki. I do like that one.
Yeah.
I saw, okay. Here's another one that someone actually, people were suggesting, like for
Which
romance.
One?
Toradora.
Of course. Yeah,
and I'm like, look, I've seen Toradora. I don't really vibe with it. Like, if it's your favorite anime, that's fine. But you cannot look me dead in the eyes and tell me that any normie, I'm just saying normie for the sake of not anime fan, any normie would look at Toradora and go, is that a child? Is that a child? Because Taiga looks like a child. Let's be real.
Yeah, she does look like a child.
And it would instantly turn them off from the series. Because not only is she a giant bitch, because I know she's a tsundere, but she is a giant bitch. But, like, she looks like a child, too. And someone who has not seen anime would look at that and go, do you need to go talk to somebody? Do you need a therapist?
That's what I think.
Or do you need to go to jail?
Toradora fans.
Yeah, like, look, okay, like, that's not what I'm saying, okay? But that's what I feel like a lot of people who don't watch anime would say while looking at Toradora, being like, that's your favorite romance anime?
Like, it's
really?
Not even a good romance to begin with.
I didn't like it. I feel like everyone puts it so high, and I'm like, I did not like it.
I didn't like it either, and I forced myself to watch everything. I was like,
oh,
okay,
yeah.
Maybe it'll pick up. It never picked up.
Okay. This is a little off topic, but because I'm thinking about it. This scene made me so mad. Is the scene where the guy with the glasses, I don't remember his name, confesses to the school president in front of everyone right before she's gonna leave, right?
Yeah.
And she brushes him off and she moves on, you know, from the assembly and stuff like that. And then Taiga goes and beats the living shit out of her. And that scene made me so mad because I'm sitting there and I'm like, everyone's like, yeah, she deserved it. And I'm like, what do you mean? The dude put her on the spot in front of everyone.
Everyone.
She was trying to save him from fucking embarrassment. Like, let's be real. Like, in confessing in front of an entire school like that is putting them on the spot to say.
Like when people do like the public proposals
and
the girl refuses them, it's like, dude, what the hell do you expect?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be like a private moment. Some people are cool with it being public, but not everyone.
I feel like if you've talked about the proposal beforehand, like if you've talked about marriage before and how you want to get married, then yeah, that's probably fine. But like public proposals and stuff like that, like it just made me mad. And then I'm like, what business? It's not Taiga's business either. Like, let's be real. She beats the living shit out of her for what? She's fucking jealous? Oh my God. Like, leave her alone. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, just leave her. Like, it's not your business. You're not his white knight. You're not his savior. You know, and I went back and I saw that scene. Like, I went back and watched it just to make sure that I was, like, correct. And I was like, am I remembering this right? Yes. Yes, I am. And I hated that whole thing. But yeah, Toradora is not a good anime to give somebody. And I feel like it's very, like, if you really like it, you probably watched it when you were in high school and you are fond of it. You have a lot of nostalgia for it. But it is not a good anime to recommend to somebody who is a full-grown adult.
No.
Right?
Absolutely.
I feel like if you're a teenager, it's probably fine. But like we're speaking from adult like point of view, right?
No, imagine showing that to your girlfriend. She would be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Like, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, what?" Like, well, she's the same age as all of them. I'm like, but why is she proportioned like that? Like she.
Like, I feel like if you want, I don't know.
Go
There's
ahead.
some people that like wanted a romance and maybe like that character style, like the small. I hate the character style when the character just looks like a little kid. What was the anime? It was from last with adults. Oh,
there
my
was
God.
there was an anime I think last season. I didn't watch it, and I was like, I heard the synopsis for it, and I was like, oh, that actually sounds cute. And then I looked at the art style, and I went, oh no, it's called The Dangers in My Heart, and it's something that's always bothered me. So it's a short guy, tall girl, right? But whenever it's shonen romance and it's a short guy and a tall girl, the guy always looks like a child.
Yeah.
He always looks like a child. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why can we not make them look the same age?
Oh, it was my senpai is annoying. That's the one I was thinking. I actually did like that.
You did like that one?
Yeah, I just don't like the main. I like the side characters, but not the main female protagonist that looks like a child. The side characters were likable.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. Like I don't understand like why. Like look, I understand petite girls exist, right? They do. Small and petite girls exist, right? Who was it? Who got it? What character was it that got in a lot of trouble a few years ago? Uzaki. Uzaki. Do you remember Uzaki?
No.
She's
from what series?
She's from Uzaki-chan.
Oh.
She's
Oh yeah, I know which.
Yeah. See, everyone said she looked like a child. I didn't think she looked like a child. She just had really big eyes that were like unproportionate to her head. Like, but she like body shape wise felt like an adult to me, just like a short adult. Like there's just like, I don't know what the fine line is. I think, okay, actually I do know what the fine line is between a child and a petite woman, right? It comes down to like head size comparatively to the body.
Yeah.
That's where it comes down to. Cause there was a friend of mine who like had art come back and she was like, does it look kind of Ollie-like? And I was like, yeah, it does. Cause she wanted to be a short stack. Right. And so I kind of like, I messed with it. I kind of like changed the head size, right, to be a little smaller. And it instantly like changed the whole thing from going from lolly to like a like short adult, right? We're getting really sidetracked. I was like, wait a second. We're going to talk about suggesting anime here.
Yeah.
Suggesting anime. Anyways, let's go back to that. Let's turn back to that. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just felt like a lot of these dudes, like, did not know their girlfriends. Like, they just did not, like, really pay attention to them. And, because, like, there were some that were like, oh, my girlfriend liked it. And I'm like, oh, congratulations. Your girlfriend liked it. But that doesn't mean every girl is going to like these series.
Girl is different. Yeah, not every single girl likes romance. Like,
that's true.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You know, another one. Okay, here's an anime I would not suggest to someone, but not because it would weird them out. Because I personally think it would be one of those animes that is like so high up there that like everything else is going to like not feel as good. And I know some people are going to really disagree with me, but Attack on Titan. I think it has such intensity that happens. Like if you dig action, right? If your girl digs action, showing her Attack on Titan is like wild because like to me I'm like the storyline is crazy and the action is pretty damn crazy and you can't trust anyone and you don't know who's gonna die. Like it felt like Game of Thrones. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's the other thing. Look at the series that she likes, you know.
Yeah, that's what I always tell, because I get a lot of questions asking, "Oh, I'm new to manga. What do you recommend?"
Mhm.
Or I'm trying to get someone into manga. Like, what would you recommend me to start them off with? And like
Yeah.
the first question you should be asking yourself, what do you enjoy in traditional media?
Yes.
Because that's what's going to guide you to like in anime or manga. Like, do you like action? Do you like horror? Do you like romance, drama? Like, if you enjoy these things outside of like anime and manga, you'll most likely
Mhm.
find something in that same realm
Yes.
in anime and manga.
Yes.
So just start off there. Like don't like make it complicated and just go straight into Crunchyroll and see what you can find out of the whole library. Just make it what was that thing in math when we were like learning like keep it simple stupid? Like just yeah, just keep it simple stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. Cause like not okay. Cause like I don't like a lot of like mainstream media in terms of like
Mhm.
I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't like watch a lot of like X, Y, and Z things, right? Um, you know, and when I do watch something, usually it's something like I was like, okay, I was really wanting to see this. Other than that, like I'm not into like sitcoms. I'm not into like all
Mhm.
that stuff. Except I love New Girl. The only
Oh,
sitcom I
I
actually
love
like
New Girl
is New
too.
Girl. It's so good. And I think it's because I don't know. I think the comedy was just like so it's so good. And like the
Mhm.
characters, I feel like I relate to like all of the characters. Whereas like I feel like
Same.
in
Yeah,
most
yeah,
sitcoms I don't relate to any of them.
yeah.
Whereas
Mhm.
like and that's the thing is like if your girl is into I don't know what Riverdale is about, but I assume it's really dramatic, right? Like I would suggest
Mhm.
something like Nana, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where there's a lot of drama going on and there's a lot of like cuz like Nana, Paradise Kiss are two really great ones for women who might like drama, right?
Mhm.
Trying to think of some like a
Oh,
comedy. I
I
oh
think I would think like if your girl enjoys New Girl,
yeah.
Wotakoi, ensemble cast, comedy. It's just lighthearted. Comedy's not
My
exactly the same, but I think she would vibe with it.
yeah, my only thing with Watakoi that might be maybe not a super good first pick would be
All the references.
all the references because
Yeah, some of them will go over their head for
I
sure.
think part of what makes Watakoi very like relatable and like why I really like it is because it's all otakus. Like they're all otakus,
Mhm.
they're all adults and they're into like anime and manga and video games and that, you know, like it's right up my alley, right?
Mhm.
You know what would be a good one actually?
Which one?
I think Princess Jellyfish would be good too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
That
think
one too.
yeah, would actually be really good too. You
Mhm.
know, stuff that revolves like around more serious topics and sometimes lighthearted, but like really stay away from the fan service. Like if you
Yeah.
can. Because oh my god. Like let me tell you, like I think as a teenager, I don't think I said this during our fan service episode,
Mhm.
but as a teenager, I was really uncomfortable with fan service. Like I was so uncomfortable. And I mean, it's a surprise that like things like Soul Eater, like I really liked as a teenager because like that has fan service in it. Not a lot, and that's probably why is because I didn't focus a lot on it,
Mhm.
especially after the first 3 episodes. But you know, like if I as a teenager like was kind of like iffy about fan service, even though I love anime, then someone who is not into anime would probably be like what the fuck is this? You know, because like especially when a lot of anime has fan service of underage characters,
Yeah.
to someone who is an adult, that would be weird. And that's why Food Wars was a terrible pick.
Can't believe that was
I'm like,
that was
how
his
could you not
recommendation.
think of it? And the guy in the video literally has the audacity to be like, it's not always like this. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not always like this? I watched the first season. It's all like that. What?
Oh. No, the video, Stella sent it to me. I was at work. I was I was literally in the bathroom watching the video, and just like laughing to myself because I'm like, dude, why? Like, just pay attention to your girl. It's really not that hard.
No.
Trust me.
No, it's not. It's not hard. Because they literally told me, I'm like, all of these dudes do not know their girlfriends. Like, do you guys know what they like? Because, like, there are anime that I love that I would never show JoJo, and vice versa. Like we're not gonna make each other watch, right? If we have an anime in mind, it's got to be something that it's like I like, but I know he's gonna like it as well too. So like, or vice versa, right? Because like I really liked JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? And in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Did you have a light bulb moment?
No, I forgot to put our logo on the screen. That's okay. It's there now. I just turned it back on. I forgot to put the logo. It's there now. But anyways, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? I've been enjoying it. I'm not finished through with it, but like I'm on part 4, right? But I've been really enjoying it because he knew that I would like it eventually. Because once we got like, it was kind of hard at the beginning. It is a lot, but like once we got through it, and I'm in it. I'm like, yeah, I really like this, you know. But that's because like Araki eventually kind of transitions from like these big buff guys that you usually kind of think with JoJo's to eventually a more like slimmer body type, and he gets more into fashion, right? Like, I mean, Araki's done collabs with Gucci, you know, like, and big fashion companies and stuff like that because he loves high fashion, right? And I could get behind that, which is why I also don't understand how some of the JoJo fans can be have some toxic masculinity going on, because I'm like Araki's so into fashion. Oh my God. But like, you know, I started, you know, I watch it, but I would never show JoJo's to somebody who's never watched anime before. That would be a little too weird for them. It would be too weird, right? You got to start them something with like kind of normal. You know, an anime that I got JoJo into was actually Lovely Complex. He loved Lovely Complex. It was actually the first anime we watched together. But, you know, he really liked it, right? But there's nothing weird that happens in it, you know? Like, it's not, like, odd or weird or, you know, it's got, like, a weird twist to it, you know? The other thing, too, is, like, the reason, like, if you want to show them Attack on Titan, then, like, be my guest, right? Because the other thing with Attack on Titan that I forgot to mention is that all the characters, they have names that are they have white names, right? Like we all know someone named Aaron in our lives. Maybe not spelled the same way, but like Aaron, right? You know, like Jean, Connie, Sasha. Like these are all names that are like, you know, like Western names, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like I know if you're getting into anime for the first time, sometimes names can be overwhelming when you're like there's all these characters with names you're not familiar with. So there's also that too. That can be like overwhelming. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add on that?
For this one?
I
don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's like pretty, like we've said, just keep it simple, stupid. Just
keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid.
No, just know what they like and just go off of what they typically like in other media, and that should make things so much easier. Or I forgot to mention, Studio Ghibli films. Those are fantastic.
Oh, those are
so
great.
Short.
Yes.
They're easy to digest. You can just watch them
yes.
like, in under 2 hours. And for the most part, like non-anime fans that I've seen those movies with, they typically really enjoy them.
Show her Howl's Moving Castle. She'll leave you for Hell. Let's be real. You know, she will leave you. She'll leave you for Hell. And also, a lot of those voice actors are people that like, like normal people would recognize, right? Like
Yeah,
Hal
they
is
choose to
played
watch the
by
dub. Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
And you're Batman. You're played by Batman. He is the knight. uh, you know,
Yeah.
Ghibli's a good start. But
Uh-huh.
you know what else though? You know what's not a good
What else?
start? You know what's not a good start?
What's
The
start?
monopoly we're seeing.
Oh yes, we're
Time for
diving
our
into the next
second
topic.
topic. Oh boy. So, if you guys heard, I mean, you guys more than likely have heard, RightStufAnime is shutting down
Mm-hmm.
and moving to Crunchyroll.
Yeah, the acquisition was announced last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was just basically just a press release like, hey, Crunchyroll has bought out Rightstuf Anime. Nothing's going to change for right now. Uh,
For right
except
now, they knew it was going to
for right
change.
now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The only thing that they changed last year was they got rid of all the R18 stuff and moved it to a separate website. And then we just
Mm-hmm.
didn't hear anything of it until, and we're recording this on Saturday, until yesterday, Friday,
Mm-hmm.
September 22nd, they announced that on October 10th, so in less than 2.5 weeks, RightStufAnime will no longer be RightStufAnime. Everything's moving on to the Crunchyroll store.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all the announcement that they gave us.
Yeah, it's look, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting afraid of Sony
Oh
having a
yeah, no, me too.
monopoly
Yeah.
in anime in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, look, okay, like they wanted to acquire Crunchyroll, fine,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? Or Crunchyroll, and then they took over Funimation, or no, was it the other way around? Did they take Funimation first?
They took Funimation. They still haven't transferred everything
Yeah, and
over to Crunchyroll.
they still haven't transferred everything. Yeah, they took Funimation and then they went after Crunchyroll. And here's the thing: is like it's so annoying because it's like, okay, so you just took the two giants in the anime industry, right? And now
Mm-hmm.
you took Right Stuff Anime, which is also a very big website for people to purchase anime goods from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some people be worried about them taking over something like Viz, right? When it comes to
Yeah.
manga and even other anime dubs and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
they do dub anime as well. And it's scary because like Sony is such a large company, and unfortunately, like we still have like things like High Dive, right, which is
Yeah.
technically competition, right? But let's
But
be real.
it's such a small competitor.
Yeah, it's
Even
so
Netflix is
small.
a very small competitor.
Well, and the thing is Netflix doesn't even have that much anime. Not in
Mm-mm.
comparison to like Crunchyroll and Funimation. Like
Mm-hmm.
Crunchyroll and Funimation have like so much more than Hulu and Disney and well, I guess those are they're the same now. And
Yeah.
Netflix, right? Like have so much more, and then like High Dive as well. Which I try to support High Dive, right? Like I do pay for High Dive because I'm like I don't want Sony to take over everything. Like I want High Dive to do well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I want them to succeed so Sony has a competitor.
Yeah. It's just not. It's not healthy. It's very concerning. Uh, and I know I mentioned this like when I've covered this topic over on my TikTok, but a lot of people just don't pay attention to what's happening outside of the United States. Crunchyroll last year bought out the largest French manga publisher, Kazé. They're
Mhm.
the basically the French equivalent of Viz Media. So the fact that they could buy out the biggest publisher, the one that has all the Shonen Jump titles and all the titles that you associate with like Shojo Beat,
Yep.
it's a big roster, a
Mhm.
big chunk of very lucrative roster as well. So they bought them out, and now they're publishing, manga under Crunchyroll. It's Crunchyroll manga. The same thing is going to happen in the U.S. That's like
Yep.
I think their next move
He's
would
definitely going
be.
to be Viz.
I think so too.
Because like if they buy out Viz, I feel like it's just over for any competitor in the West.
Yeah.
Because like those are the three big giants.
Mm-hmm.
Viz, I mean they could buy like a different competitor too. They could theoretically buy like
I don't think they can buy out Kodansha just because
that's
of
true they can't.
Kodansha in Japan. This I can
Yes.
see them do maybe even like Yen Press, since a lot of Yen Press anime
What
lives
about
in
Steamship?
Crunchyroll.
Not
I don't
Steamship, sorry, Seven Seas.
seven. I really hope not, just because they just got unionized, so it would be
Mm-hmm.
like all their efforts just go out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure Crunchyroll and Sony are not unionized, or if they are, probably not to the same level as you know Seven Seas and all the fighting that they had to do for over a year.
It's crazy because like watching this all happen because like I mean back in like the 2000s we were pirating anime constantly, right? Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were because there was nowhere to watch it. You couldn't watch anime like from websites that were like who had it, right? Like for
Mm-hmm.
a long time Crunchyroll did not have Lovely Complex. I think they got it in like
Didn't Crunchyroll
2018.
start off as as a illegal website?
They did actually.
Yeah.
They did. Which I mean, let's like good for old Crunchyroll for now like going
Mm-hmm.
from illegal to legal. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great. That's awesome. And like I'm like, yeah, it's just like back then getting things like licenses is really difficult. So like it's like how do
Mm-hmm.
you do it, you know? And I've been on Crunchyroll since I think 2007 or 8, something like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've been around for a long time. Like, oh my God. But like I just remember when Sony bought Crunchyroll and just going, "Oh my God, this is not good." Because like Crunchyroll and Funimation felt like they had been competing for so long.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're not competing anymore, right? But the other thing is like now they have Crunchyroll. I'm pretty sure they have Verve as well too.
Oh,
Verve? No? Yes?
sounds familiar.
It's like VRV is like it so
Oh, okay.
it was like this other streaming website where they had Crunchyroll anime. They used to have Funimation on it as well for a long time
Oh, okay. Yeah,
before
I know which one.
before
It
Sony bought Funimation.
yeah, yeah, it was in my when I had the Apple, what's it, the Apple TV. It was one of the options to download. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I had other things too. Like it had like a Frederator, so you could watch things like Bee and Puppy Cat and like all of these other shows, like Rooster Teeth, I think on it too. Oh my God, wait. What? Okay. This is just a what if.
Uh huh.
What if Sony buys Rooster Teeth as well? Because
I
like
mean, they have the money.
they have the money. Well, because like
Mm-hmm.
okay, like this is like kind of off topic, but not really. So
Mm-hmm.
like Rooster Teeth has not been doing very well. I know this because they just released their Ruby Rose VTuber, and like they're branching out into other things other than the show, which I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not really good signs. Like, I guess like VTubing, but it doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Like, to me, it didn't really make sense, right? But
Yeah.
like, it feels like Sony is buying up all of like the nerdy side of the West, right? So it
They are.
includes
They really are. Yeah.
like like Crunchyroll, Funimation, RightStuf. Like if they go after like Viz Media or like Rooster Teeth, like it's just gonna be bad. And
Mm-hmm.
like the one thing I fear is that Sony is just then going to jack up the prices.
Yeah.
Because like the reason for our younger viewers who maybe don't really know much about monopolies and why they're bad is like monopolies are bad because when you have a single group who owns that entire portion of that like niche, they can decide whether or not like something is going to be expensive or not. So
Mm-hmm.
example was like the reason that like monopolies are illegal is because of the Rockefeller group. Was it Rockefeller? I don't remember. It's like I think that was the last name, but they were a big oil company, Like there was a big oil company and they had a monopoly. So they get to choose how much their product is, right? Like how much it would be, right? Whereas like if you have competitors, it helps keep the prices down, right? Because it's like, well, this competitor is selling it for like, let's say there's a figure. Let's say it's a Hatsune Miku figure. And let's say like when you buy it in bulk, it's only like $15 per figure, right? If you have multiple people selling it, multiple different companies, they might sell it for $5 more. So let's say it's now it's a $20 figure or maybe 25. I don't know, right? And they're like, oh, you know, this one company wants to sell it for $40, right? But then this other company is selling it for 25, right? Everyone's going to go buy the figure for $25 instead of the 40, which actually takes the price down, right? Because they're basically the other company is forced to like put their to, you know, lower the price so that way people buy from them more, right? But if only one person in the entire West has this Hatsune Miku figure that is $15 to buy, they could put it at $60 or $70 or $80 or $150 for a $15 figure. And that's why it's bad.
Yep. They would get to dictate everything from streaming to if they buy out manga, the price of manga as well. It's just
well, the worst thing too is that technicality, I think to the law, they're not a monopoly because there are other competitors. Right?
Yeah. That's why they haven't gotten in trouble yet, because there are other competitors, but the other competitors are just so much smaller in comparison. That at this point it's like, can you even say they're fair competitors? Because it's not a fair competition anymore.
No, and it's really scary because it's like I don't want to see this happen. Like Sony literally looked at anime and went, oh, that's a whole market of people with lots of money that we can take advantage of. And I'm like, no.
Me, like the scary thing is, and I understand why, like in big conventions, they don't allow recording, because I remember, and this stuck with me so clearly in my head. I went to a Crunchyroll industry panel last year at San Diego Comic-Con, and I don't remember who it was that was speaking. I don't think it was the CEO, but it was one of like their main guys at Crunchyroll. He clearly said, I want everyone to think of Crunchyroll whenever they think of anime and manga. They just want anime and manga, Crunchyroll. They just want that association. They don't want any people. They don't want people to think about any other brand. They just want people to think anime, Crunchyroll. That's what they're going for.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I think anime, I think of the shows. I don't think of, like, Crunchyroll, right? Like, I don't specifically think of Crunchyroll. I don't think of, like, any specific company. I just think about, like, anime. Like, the shows I like, you know?
Yeah, the way he said it's like it gave me chills. Because it seemed like such an evil thing to say. Like, it's like some cartoon evil type of shit. Like, I just want everybody to think of
giving Dr. Eggman to me.
Totally. And you know what I was thinking too? It's like, dude, they're getting into like sponsoring Vocaloid concerts too. Like they
are. That's right too, because they're now, it's now powered by Crunchyroll, which is Sony. Which, by the way, well, I mean, I guess like I don't know who runs Miku Expo, like what company runs like the concerts, because like I'm like, would it be Sega? No, right?
It would say Sega.
It would say Sega, right? Because it's like, God, because that's right, because they took over Miku Expo too, and I'm like, oh my God, like everything that I like is being taken over by Sony, because you have to remember Sony's also the same company that owns PlayStation as well and has a lot of games, right? And they're very close to other companies like like Squeenix, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like just so many other like I guess I guess Sega. Yeah, I was about to say Sega is also though like Project Diva's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
Station.
the Sonic game, so I guess that doesn't matter. But yeah, no, it just like now that me because I remember seeing that and I was like, no, why Crunchy?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you taking over Miku Expo?
And
Which,
I
by
was
the way,
thinking
was a shit
too.
show.
Oh yeah. It still continues to be a shit show. It's still a shit show
It's
right
still
now.
I looked at the prices of the tickets. The only tickets available for the venue that like I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
is like the lowest is the VIP ticket, which is $200. The rest of it's like $700-800 tickets, and it's because of resellers,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Like and the pre-sale was also like a just shit show because it was like instead of everyone getting their individual codes and like sending out emails and stuff like that, it's just like what the God, what they should have that was so annoying.
They handled it horribly, and I feel like they're gonna handle taking over RightStufAnime horribly. Because here's
Yes.
the thing, and why people really enjoyed shopping at RightStufAnime. They really took care of packaging everything, so nothing could come broken. Whether
And
it was
Crunchyroll and Funimation are
they're the worst.
notorious for having horrible
Oh yeah,
packing.
my viral video is literally a an unboxing from Funimation store uh that arrived completely like it looked like it was stepped on. Like it was horrible. And did they do anything? Absolutely not.
Well, I
No.
saw someone have, I think a while ago, they ordered one of the Fruits Basket figures. Like it was either Kyo or Yuki.
Oh yeah, I ordered Yuki.
Was it your
That arrived.
video?
It might be my video.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't
But
know.
it was all stepped on and only Yuki was the the one that wasn't damaged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was your video. Oh my god! I don't think I knew you back then though.
I get that a lot. That video went around a lot.
Yeah, no, the very first I think the very first video that I was like, this is Lauda, was your tuxedo mask one. Where you did
Yeah.
like you did the little like head game, you're like and you chose tuxedo mask or over Zorro, which
Yeah.
by the way is the correct answer. So I know everyone
Mhm.
was up and you know a little tizzy, but let's be real, Zoro would not give a shit about you. That man is only following Luffy around, and not in a gay way, apparently. I don't know. I guess it's not. He's just very faithful to Luffy for whatever reason. I guess that's not really super explained, but like because that sucks. And the other thing too that a lot of people were bringing up was what's happening to the pre-orders.
Yeah, which so they released like a press release.
Okay.
Okay, let me start up from the beginning. The way this was leaked was a Twitter account by Manga Alerts and Restocks. He got a screenshot of the email that Crunchyroll sent out to publishers. Oh no, not Crunchyroll. RightStuf sent out an email to publishers just letting them know that their website was going to get shut down and everything was going to get moved to Crunchyroll.
Okay.
So that gets posted on Twitter. And that's the way all the customers find out about it. So this happened Friday around like 5 a.m. Pacific Standard.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have people freaking out what's going to happen to pre-orders and the back orders. Like seriously, there was no heads up. It just came out of nowhere.
And then Crunchyroll has the audacity to tweet out about, oh, look at, let's celebrate. We're combining. Yeah. And everyone's like, and everyone hated that.
Yeah, like a few hours later, that was their press release. Like, oh, you can get the anniversary My Dress Up Darling now on Blu-ray. It's like nobody gives a shit about that.
Wait. I'm gonna look this. I gotta go to Crunchyroll real quick. I want to go
look it up. Look it up because they just start promoting like things that they can buy from the Crunchyroll website, and like it literally answered none of the questions the customers had, whether it was about their pre-orders, what's happening to like my order history, um, the prices and the sales. Like it answered nothing. So then they released an FAQ, a very, very long FAQ that actually answers a lot of the questions. But they did it as a like a subtweet, like underneath the main tweet.
Yeah.
So the main tweet has over like 100K views. The other one with the actual information people are looking for has like 3K views, like a portion of them. Not even a
Yeah, here it is. It's from the Crunchyroll store.
uh
Special announcement: RightStufAnime is joining Crunchyroll. That means fans will have an even bigger selection of figures, collectibles, and manga in one Crunchyroll storefront. No one cares. No one gives a damn about you, Crunchyroll, in your store. Oh my god, it is the worst experience too. I remember looking at the Crunchyroll store and I'm like, man, this just sucks. And like,
yeah.
how dare they be like special announcements? Like,
No, usually their figures are they're more expensive than a lot of retailers, so I avoid them.
yeah, like what? Like,
Not sponsored, but go buy from Big Bad Toy Store. $4 shipping, and they take care of
I
your
used
stuff.
to buy from Ami, and then the shipping got really expensive.
Oh, Ami, yeah, yeah.
I really
Shipping's
liked Ami
pricey.
because I liked getting the used figures. Well,
Oh, I still do that.
pre-owned. Pre-owned. I don't want to say used. That makes it sound gross. The pre-owned figures. I've gotten some really good figures from them.
Me too.
For not that.
Yeah.
For like retail value when they're like 3 times the price, and I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's pre-owned, but like I would rather pay that price than the whatever price. I was really sad. There was this figure at a con I went to. I think it was like Sakura Con, like like years ago. And there was a 1/4 scale Luca figure, and I wanted it so bad. And it was like $400. And I had the money, but I was like, but I don't want to spend it all on this one figure. And I regret it every day because that figure is now so expensive.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Like it was more expensive than like online, like, but not by that much. Like it would be either like I get it now, the convenience of taking it home with me now, or I pay for it online, you know, it's like yada yada yada. But like I regret it every day because like 1/4 is a huge figure.
It's a huge figure. Yep.
And I was like, oh my god, that's a huge figure, and I still want it to this very day. Because it's like the V4 Luca, and she's like, it was so beautiful. I got to hold it, and I looked at her, and I was like, she's so pretty. I'm crying. I love Luca so much. And then instead I got the Luca figure, the Tony version.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that her skirt came off, but it does.
Yeah, it does.
It does come off, and I was like, "What? What?" I was like, "I thought I broke her," and I was like, "Oh no, this is supposed to come off." I'm not into that. You're keeping your skirt on. But no.
Yeah, it comes off. I thought I had broken it too.
Do you have it as well?
I think if it's not one that I'm thinking.
It's the one on the record player or the record.
Oh yeah, I have that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that Hirotaka has in the manga.
Yeah, Hirotaka has.
Yeah, I was reading what's a coin. I remember like I had just bought the manga from Barnes and Noble because like they had like the first 2 volumes, and I was like, oh, it's that show I really like, but it's the manga, so I bought it. And then I remember flipping through the pages, and I saw his figures like that in the episode where, you know, like she goes, you know, Narumi goes looking for his stash, and you know, she's looking at all the figures, and then the anime, it's just like these generic looking like anime girls, but in the manga, it's like very specific ones, and it was Luca, and I was like, oh man, Hirotaka's a Luca man. Let's go. I get it. I know he's a he's a boob guy. Poor Narumi. Rest in peace, Narumi.
He's a boob guy, and he also likes pink-haired girls, so I
Okay,
mean,
so she
she was
fits
lacking in one department, but
one department. It's okay. Just get her like a pair of the fake ones, like the silicone ones, like for cosplay. Like she just needs to talk to Hana and be like, can you get me those like those fake boobies? And Hana be like, yes. And then they can, oh my God, that would be such a funny like panel would be she get her the fake boobies. And then what they do is like, they are like, they dress as each other. She dresses as a small little Hana. And then, so it's like Hana and then Narumi dressed as Hana.
Oh I missed that series.
And then Kamakura would be like, what the fuck is this? What?
Yeah,
He's like, I can only take one of you. I can't take two of you.
I got sidetracked.
Yeah, we did. But no.
You know what I was thinking too with Crunchyroll?
What?
They used to have a convention. This year they canceled it. They had the Crunchyroll Con up in, I think, San Jose, the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah. They have Crunchyroll Expo.
Yeah. I mean, they could easily buy out like Anime Expo or something too.
Oh my God. Whoa, you know what?
Because a lot of the panels at Anime Expo this year, at least the big ones, were Crunchyroll sponsored.
Oh my God. You're right. They could buy like Anime Expo.
Because they're a lot more closely associated with Anime Expo than Anime NYC. Although they still have booths up, like down there, but
because if they took Miku Expo, they could take any other convention.
They can take anything. I mean, they're just looking at like all the nerdy fandom spaces and like, it's just so evil. Like they're literally just looking like, what?
It is evil.
What's the next thing we can take over?
It's so evil. It's so evil. I hate capitalism.
I hate it. I hate it. Like, I don't care if this ruins my chance of ever working with Crunchyroll. Like, I hate it.
No, I hate
where
it
things
too.
Are going.
Yeah, well, because like Crunchyroll, like you need to like back off and let like anime fan like because like everything was fine until you came along, Sony.
Yeah.
Everything was just fine.
With all the buyouts and everything, like I also remember, I think it was early this year, like earlier on, the whole controversy with the voice actors saying that they were completely like underpaid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I know that anime voice actors are so incredibly underpaid. Like they legitimately are. So from my understanding, right? And this might be outdated information now. So take it with a grain of salt, right? But brand new voice actors, right? Or people who had like less than like 50 roles, right? Like under their belt. We're getting paid $35 an hour. And I know that sounds great. You're like, wow, $35 an hour. That sounds great. Wrong. If you only have like five lines, you spend half an hour in the booth and that's it for your role. That's half of $35.
Yeah.
Right? If you have more than 50 roles, you get bumped up to $50 an hour. And if you are newer but got a big role, then you get $50 an hour. Right? And some of the big, more seasoned anime voice actors are making $75 an hour. So like people who've been around for a while, right? Like your like the people who like been voice acting like in the 2000s and early 2010s, they'd be making like more like $75 an hour, right? Yeah. But the problem is that when you look at that, like that's insane. Like that's insane because like when you look at a competitor like Rooster Teeth, well, not like competitor, but like someone who does higher. From my understanding, Rooster Teeth for the first hour, no matter how much or how little lines you have, even if you're there for half an hour, that first hour you get automatically $250.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So there's that difference. That's huge difference, right? And that's a huge difference. And then it's $50 an hour after that. So if you're in the booth for longer than an hour, then it's $50 an hour, right?
Mhm.
But like, you know, you're there for 2 hours, $300, right? You're there for 5 hours, like, which is a lot. That's a long time, but you know, you're making like $450, $500, right?
Mhm.
And which is like fine, great. Where
Yeah.
voice actors make their most money is actually conventions and them appearing at conventions, selling prints with the characters on it and them signing it, and they get that money, right? So they get commercial rights to the prints to sell. Which, speaking of which, there was a voice actor who just Gray Delisle. You know Gray Delisle, right? She voices like Azula and like Vicky and Daphne and like Scooby Doo.
Okay.
She's a lot of different things. She just got scammed for art. So she spent like $600 or something like that. $600 on art of Daphne that she learned was AI art
Oh.
that she
no.
commissioned for signings
Horrible.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I felt bad, right? I felt bad. And there are people who are going after Gray now, being like, oh, she deserved it. She deserved it. It was her. Like, she deserved that because a while ago, which not even a while ago, a month ago, it was like a month or 2 months ago, there was a guy who made a Fnaf X Scooby-Doo animation, and he made AI voices for it using the voice actors' voices. And then a dead man's voice too. And like a dead voice actor. And like there's a huge controversy about it, right? Because like she found out about it and she was like, I'm getting this guy blacklisted. And there were people who were upset because she blacklisted. They're like, she was picking on a small indie independent animator who just made a mistake. And I was like, the bitch, okay, he didn't make a mistake because when he made that, he put in the description that he knew AI voice acting is bad and that he just couldn't afford voice actors, which, by the way, is bullshit because I know a lot of voice actors, including myself, who would have done that project for free because it was cool as hell. Right? There's a lot of voice actors who will do things for free because they don't have a lot of things under their belt. They need practice. Yeah. They need things, right? If he's an indie animator who is like put out his very first big animation for like a fan project, then get people like you. There's voice actors who will do it for free. Trust me.
Yeah, just like do a casting call or something.
Yeah, there's casting call club, there's voice acting club, there's Discord servers, there's Twitter, there's all of these things, right, that you can do. You could even like tweet it out or gone on TikTok. He has a TikTok and like asked like, are there people who are willing to voice act, right? And like for free because I want to do this thing, right? But he took their voices, right? And he took Gray's voice and used it in AI. You know, and people are like, well, he wasn't doing it for money. It was just a fan animation. I'm like, that, okay. First of all, that shit has over 1 million views now. It has 1.5 million views. I actually just looked at it literally today or like last night or something like that. And it has 1.5 million views. That man is fucking monetized now. Because like that, you know how many watch hours that is? A lot?
That's fucked up if he's monetizing with the AI.
Yes.
That's super illegal.
Well, he also talked about how he's like, well, he's casting now for like he's gonna redub it, right? Because he wants to learn from his mistake. The fucking video is still up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't believe your apology until you take that video down. And he didn't take it down because he apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, like I blah blah blah. And then he didn't take it down. I'm like, if you were truly sorry, you would have taken that down. But no, it's getting a lot of views. It's getting a lot of traction. He's not going to take it down because he likes all the attention. Because if you're truly sorry about it, you take it down. Right? And the other narrative that people are spreading around is that he was a teenager. He was just a teenager. He's just the bitch was 23. He was 23 years. He's a 23-year-old man. Yeah. It literally says on his TikTok that he is 23 years old. He is more than old enough to know better, right? And the other thing too is like people are like, it was too harsh for her to blacklist him. No, it wasn't. Especially when the strike's going on. No, it wasn't. You know what the strike is about? The strike is literally about like protecting the voice actors, the actors, everyone from AI, getting them paid better, like all of these different things, right? Because they don't have any protection against AI, right? And the man has the audacity to use these voice actor voices in AI, especially a dead man who died in the 80s.
That's so screwed up.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are you guys protecting this man who fucked up? He did, because I'm a voice actress and I know. I'm like, okay, AI, no, because if you are an animator, if you are an artist, you absolutely know, like a legitimate legitimate artist, you know AI is bad, and you know why AI is bad. And I don't care if it was a fan project or not, right? And he's not making any money off of it. He is still gaining clout from it, and more than likely is monetized from it. Because let's be real, 1.5 million views is more than 4,000 hours of watch time.
Yep, it is.
That's like, I don't even know how much watch time that would be. It's like hundreds of thousands of hours of watch time.
Yeah.
So like, you know, with everything that's going on, right? With like Sony and Crunchyroll and like the strike, and like, it just sucks. Like everything is being bought up. The prices are being raised. And anime is my little bit of happiness. Okay? It makes me happy, and I don't want to pay an arm and a leg just like Edward did. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay an arm and a leg. Sorry, I had to.
Like, maybe I wouldn't have so much of a problem with it if I knew like the employees were getting paid well.
Yeah.
But they're not. That's the thing. They're not. Like, the voice actors they hire are not getting paid well.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a strike. I would be fully supportive if they went. Yeah, they should. I mean, the amount of money that, what was it? The girl who played Rika from JJK, the movie?
Okay.
Made like $15, I think.
15.
Yeah, 15, I think. That was what the article said last year. And the movie grossed like, became the highest grossing anime film. Like, it's ridiculous.
If you have any role in anything, right? Like, I mean, it's just, first of all, it's a big problem in the industry not to have things like residuals, right? Like, I remember talking to my mom about voice acting and stuff like that. And she, she was like, you get residuals. And I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
I was like, no, you don't. You get paid and then that's it. Like, you don't get residuals. It's not like you're a big actor in a movie. Like, some actors get residuals. Well, I know Disney Channel, a lot of the like main actors do not get residuals. But the side characters, the adult characters do. Not the kids though.
Of course.
And I'm like, imagine like residuals, like you could live off of those, for like a long time. Right? But they don't want to give the money. They're like, okay, we paid you. Okay, we're taking all this money now. To me,
the industry is fucked up.
It's fucked up. It's so bad. It is bad. You know what else is bad?
And it makes it hard to like avoid, because it's like either you watch it on Crunchyroll or you pirate it, and then you don't contribute at all to the industry. So
yeah, because I like to contribute to the industry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, but it's a good thing when there's competition, which we are lacking.
I was like, I don't count High Dive as competition. Like, I try to support High Dive, but they are the Oshinoko dub was kind of a mess. Be real.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's kind of a mess. Right? But, like, I feel like if we could get, like, more people, going to High Dive and, like, them to try to, like, up their stuff, like, it would be great because they could be competitors. Mm-hmm. They really could be. And they do have some really good stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
they
they did.
have what did they have? They had Oshinoko, right?
Yep.
Which I went like crazy that they got Oshinoko, which was like the biggest anime like last season. 2 seasons
Mhm.
ago, I guess now.
Yeah, yeah.
They have like the Utapri series. They have
Mhm.
Tokyo Mew Mew. They have like all of these other big series. But like they are starting to make moves, but like it's still hard. And
Yeah.
again, I don't really count like Netflix and like Disney as competitors because like while they have anime, they don't really pick up a ton of like seasonal anime. And
No.
Netflix,
It's been like 1 or 2 per
yeah.
season, and that's it.
And Netflix, and by the way, Netflix sucks at it because like they ruined JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 because they released it all at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Except they only the first half.
Uh,
And then they did it the second half like 6 months later. And I'm like, no. That's not how you do it. Because you know why anime does so well? It's because we watch that shit weekly. And we like to do it that way. Like, yes, I like to binge anime too. But like, I like to participate and see the fandom and like everyone talking about it. And the anime only is going like, oh my God, what's going to happen next week? Like, oh, this is what I predict is going to happen next week. And yada, yada. Like, we get excited. Yeah, right? Like, to be like, oh, we got to predict. When you watch something, like you binge it, you don't get time to do that. You don't get time to go like, think about like, oh, what's going to happen next week? These are my hypotheses. You're not going to be sitting, in the office or like in school or doing whatever in the middle of the week and thinking about the next episode. And then you go, oh, wait, I remember this thing that happened. What if this thing happens? Like you don't get that when you're binging anime. It just doesn't happen.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just mad. Sony, stop it. Bad. Down,
Yeah,
down, boy, down.
Like I keep getting all the comments because I made those videos, and people are just not happy.
No,
They're really not.
no.
Understandably so.
Yeah, it's so understandable. But you
I
got
I don't think they're gonna be honoring the RightStufAnime prices. 'Cause
probably not.
They were known for their lower than retail prices in manga. That's the whole reason why people would buy from them.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be honoring it.
No, probably not.
Mm-mm.
But anything else? Anything else you want to add? Or you wrap up this episode?
Well, for manga, there's like not that many competitors either. I mean, there's your Barnes and Noble. I mean, just buy from other places. Honestly, at this point, just give other places your money so they can have some competition, at least
Yep.
for manga.
Yep. I miss Tokyo Pop.
Because I feel like it's going to become the wild, wild west with what Sony and Crunchyroll will acquire next.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I think that concludes this episode of Shojo's Bizarre Adventure.
Mm-hmm. Subscribe to High Dive.
Subscribe to High Dive. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. But give your money to other companies. That's all I gotta say. Give them your money. Yeah. Support them, man. They're trying in these dying times. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.